Good morning. We are on the north side of Amarillo, Texas, heading to Cactus. We're going to go over here to Cactus and do a drop and hook and go to Windsor, Colorado. While I say that, I may drop it in Greeley at our yard. I don't know yet. Every time I get one of these Windsor loads, I end up dropping it in Greeley. Usually because they have a load in Greeley at the JBS plant that's got to go somewhere else. So we'll see. Left the house, 97 miles back. Excuse me. I hate this light. I really do. Because you got this light, then you got the highway up there. You got 287 up there. And it's been red for a minute. There we go. Go on there, Pennsylvania. Nice day today. It's in the upper 20s this morning, so it's a nice mid-November day. It's been actually warmer than usual lately, at least for the panhandle. Replace the shocks on this truck. It's got a vibration in it. It's not the steer tires. I checked those. Sometimes it can be the shocks, but they're about to turn this truck in, so I'm not going to worry about it. Monday morning, I got home Thursday morning, so I was home for a while. I had a funeral I had to go to and take care of some things around the house. Things I want to take care of and deal with around the yard before it starts snowing. nice up through here. You got a few trees and things, you know. I like living in the Panhandle. It's kind of funny. I'm originally from South Louisiana, so you know I grew up being around trees and water and grass. And, you know, growing up in the deep South, it's you know, you're just surrounded by trees and water, like I said. When I moved to Texas, I lived in East Texas for a long time, and East Texas is pretty similar. It's a bit drier than the deep South, but there's still some trees and grass and water. And then I moved out here. Well, I lived in Dallas for a while. And I moved out here, and of course, we have very little trees. Most of our rivers are dry or almost dry. You know, it's a different world. But I like it. You know, it can get 110 in the summer. It can get below zero in the winter. It really is a land of extremes. But I like it. Staying out until Thanksgiving. It's not really that far off. It's the 10th. So probably stop at the Love's up here in Dumas and go ahead and fill the truck up. Reefer's got enough fuel. You know, for me to drop it, they like you to have 3/4 of a tank. Wouldn't mind living out this way, out here north of Amarillo. It's nice up here. Get up on these hills. I'm sure the wind can be brutal in the wintertime, but I didn't eat very good while I was home. I ate a lot of sweets. Shouldn't have done that. Ate some pizza. Probably shouldn't have done that. I paid for it. My stomach let me know. But, you know, I go home. I kind of just do what I want as far as food. I try to be a little careful, but after the funeral, we had a reception, and somebody at the church made some very, very good brownies. Man, they were good, and I just couldn't help myself. Live stream. I don't know when. I was going to do one while I was home, and I stayed so busy. I just didn't get a chance to do one. I apologize for that. Very old tank battery over there. Very old. Those are some old wells. Some of these old wells are 40, 50 years old. They're still producing. I wish 287 looked like this in Colorado, man. I really wish they'd make a 4-lane out of it. uphill up from the river when you're loaded. I'm not loaded, so. I'm not loaded yet anyway. Supposed to deliver 6 a.m. tomorrow morning, if I deliver it. Like I said, I usually take these loads and drop them at the yard. Excuse me. But if they don't need me to pick anything else up tonight, they'll probably have me deliver it. I love the wide open space of West Texas, man. You can just see forever out here. Just miles and miles and miles. So I think now that I'm not in Alaska anymore, I may expand what I talk about beyond just trucking. I often say I don't want to get too political outside of trucking. I have no problem getting political when it comes to the transportation industry. But I don't want to get too political in other things. But But I don't know. I'm thinking about maybe expanding. I mean, there's some things that cross political boundaries, you know, Republican, Democrat, Independent, whatever. I'll tell you something I read that I guess you could say is political about the trucking industry. Illinois is going to raise the tolls for trucks a lot. I mean, for cars too, but even more for trucks. And one of the reasons why they say is because they want to help. Some of that money, I think $200 million of it, is going to go toward mass transit in Chicago. And, you know, that's not what the road tolls are for. The road tolls, oh, he's far enough off. The road tolls are for the road. That's what they're for. They're not for mass transit in Chicago. Let the taxpayers of Chicago pay for mass transit in Chicago. I shouldn't have to pay for mass transit in Chicago because I don't use it. I don't live in Chicago. I don't live in Illinois. So let the taxpayers of Illinois pay for that. So there's something political for the day. And then the governor of Illinois says, well, this is more fair because, you know, this way we don't raise taxes on hard-working Illinois families. Well, I'm a hard-working family, or I have a family, but I don't live in Illinois. So why should I have to pay for it? I mean, really, why should I have to pay? Why should anybody really outside of the Chicago area that don't use mass transit in Chicago, why should they have to pay for it? And if they do go to Chicago and use it, they pay. They pay money. Of course, it's subsidized, we know, because mass transit doesn't pay for itself. Anywhere. Because not enough people use it. But the roads in Illinois are crap. But whatever. I forget how much. I think they said it was something like a 30% hike, something like that. I'd have to go back and read the article. I don't know. I just, you know, they're always trying to make money off the trucks. I remember when North Carolina wanted to toll I-95 just for trucks. Just for trucks. And I believe Rhode Island did it, or they were trying to do it. I don't know if they did it. I hadn't been on the East Coast in years. But I know North Carolina was trying to do it. Rhode Island was trying to do it. Just for trucks. I do not understand how you can even have a toll on an interstate highway. An interstate highway is a federal highway. But a lot of states, when they built the interstate system, they grandfathered their toll roads in, like Illinois, Ohio, Indiana, Oklahoma. But it should be illegal. It definitely should be illegal to toll any new interstate highways. Those are federal highways. They get federal tax dollars for those highways. We pay for those highways already. Every truck rolling down that interstate pays for that interstate. Or any other highway for that matter. These trucks pay a lot of money in taxes, in road taxes. I know, I've been an owner-operator. I know how much it costs. job at one of these big freight hauling companies, like the guy I'm passing here, Estes, or Old Dominion, or one of those. But man, they're so corporate. I could have went to work for Carlisle in Alaska, run back and forth to Texas, but man, they are really, really corporate. And I'm kind of too old to change my ways. I mean, I had to conform somewhat to come here, but I worked here before. You know, I know what I can get away with. I just love how they always want to blame the trucks for everything on the road, you know, the way the trucks are tearing up the roads. No, you know, you can have a perfectly good road like this road right here. That has a lot of truck traffic on it. Because this is the main route between Dallas and Denver. Have some roads like in Illinois and other places and they're crap. Now I'm not saying that trucks don't contribute to the wear and tear on the road, obviously they do, but they also pay a lot more in road tax. You know, you get some guy who's an owner operator or a company, whatever, doesn't matter, and you know he's from out of state, he's paying more money road tax, even though he doesn't live there, than the people who live there, unless another truck driver. As far as just people driving their cars, you can say, well, he's heavier, so he's, you know, putting more wear and tear on the road. I get that. I have no problem with that. But some of these states begin to see it as a revenue generator for other projects besides that road. That's what I have a problem with. We're not here to fund your mass transit, you know, with road tax or road tolls. If you want to fund mass transit, then raise taxes on something else that pertains only to the people in that state or even in that area. But the governor doesn't want to do that because he doesn't want to, you know, piss off people who may vote for him. So they put it off on the trucks. It's not just the governor of Illinois, they all do it. Well, we don't want to piss off the citizens because I may want to get reelected. So instead of just raising taxes on everyone to pay for this, we'll put it on the trucks. And we'll raise their toll 30%. Or we'll raise our highway use tax or our diesel tax. Now that does affect some citizens, but not everyone. And they will emphasize the trucks. It's like these tolls. They're going to raise tolls on cars too, not nearly as much. But I guarantee you they're going to play it up like, yeah, we're raising the tolls on the trucks. It's always the trucks, man. And then people wonder why the price of certain things don't go down. It costs money to deliver this stuff. Somebody's got to pay for that. I mean, it's simple economics. But, you know, 60% of Americans can't read past the 6th grade level, so it's hard to explain simple economics. There's a toll road that bypasses Denver, E470. It is extreme, it's outrageously expensive. We're based out of Colorado, and our boss asked us, please don't use it. I mean, there's a little stretch right there we have to use if we unload at the Costco warehouse, depending on where we're going after that. But for the most part, please don't use it, because it's very, very, I know I ran the thing when they first opened it years ago. It's crazy expensive. Now, it's a great bypass around the city. You would eliminate a lot of truck traffic coming into Denver if you would reasonably price that thing. But no, they just put it right up the backside, man, if you're in a truck. So most trucks don't use it for that reason. But, you know, and you think the city, I mean, I would, if I were mayor, if I were the governor, you know, I would say, look, let's reduce the tolls for trucks to get them on E470 more, to get them around the city, so we're not clogging up the city with truck traffic that's just going through. I remember there's been a lot of states that have done that over the years. They've reduced the tolls for trucks to get them on the toll road, to get them off other streets. You know, where guys are taking back roads to avoid the tolls. It's okay, we'll reduce the price of the toll roads to get them on the toll road. I mean, you reduce congestion that way. But Colorado's not going to do it because, I don't know, that, like I said, when they opened that toll road years ago, it was outrageously expensive. And it's still outrageously expensive if you're in a truck. And when it snows, that road has priority. And I know that from a guy who used to work for the state, who told me that. They plow E470. The rest of Denver could look like the Arctic Circle, but they'll plow E470 first. It's the way it is. Anyway, we're about to come into the big city of Dumas, and then I'll stop and get some fuel. I was going to wait until I got to Eads, Colorado, but I think it'll be a bit cheaper here. So I'll try to, you know, help the company out whenever I can. And I got to go to the bathroom anyway. I've been drinking coffee all morning. So I might as well, how you say, throw a rock and kill a couple of birds. Dumas, or as I call it, Red Light City. There's a lot of red lights in this little town. They want to make sure you stop. make sure and slow you down. Back in the day when we were going from Dallas to Denver, we would turn up here and go through Dalhart over into Clayton, New Mexico, and then go over Raton Pass and get on I-25 and go into Colorado that way to miss all the 287 through Colorado. But I'm not going to Denver. I'm going east of Denver, and besides, I'm going north of here to load, so we used to do anything we could to not have to run 287 through Colorado. Super Inn. Wow, super. And the Big Country Cafe. I guess they're open yet. It says serves breakfast all day. It's almost 9 o'clock. There's nobody there. This town can be quite irritating with their lights. They don't set them. I hope this load is going to be ready when I get there. It should be. Doesn't mean it will be. JBS is famous for being 20, 24 hours, 30 hours late. There you go. Get in front of me and then hit your brakes. That's wonderful. Wouldn't expect anything less from someone in a BMW. Another red light. That guy's just gonna blow it. Nah, he says screw it, I'm too good. Too good to stop. Got stuff to do. I'm gonna do 10 mile an hour over the speed limit through town and blow the red lights. Right there, he's got somebody pulled over. Numbskull in the BMW. He figured it out. I was going to say, the numbskull in the BMW hadn't figured it out yet. He figured it out. They really should set these lights. The government's always talking about people conserving fuel and not wasting fuel and this and that and the environment and whatever, all the little pygmies in some country somewhere. I don't know. Well, set your lights, man. Set your lights to where if you're doing the speed limit through here, you'll catch them all green. But they don't do that. It's green, people. It's not going to get any greener. Well, they got their Christmas decorations going up already around here. There's the Loves up ahead. I don't think I've ever stopped in this Loves. I don't think. It's been here for a while. Man, Love just puts fuel stops up everywhere. But it makes sense, you know, you got the yeah, I was gonna try not to get over here in this guy's way, but anyway, I'll go ahead and end this video. I'm just going to get fueling and go on up to Cactus. I appreciate you watching. Like and subscribe would be great. Share the video would be great. And I'll see you next time.